SVR IAS Online Academy welcomes you to the world of civil services exam preparation. CommandIndia.com is our website. In this GS Paper 3 Science and Technology video lecture, you will learn about photodynamic therapy and the role of the nanotechnology in treating the cancer. Nanotechnology comes under GS Paper 3 syllabus. Nanotechnology, you should know basics about nanotechnology. You don't need to acquire hi-fi knowledge in this topic. Mainly the application part of the nanotechnology is important for us. So recently one news came in this, the role of the photodynamic therapy and important role in treating the cancer. As you know, cancer is one of the world's deadliest disease. That is a non-infectious disease. So let's start the important video lecture of photodynamic therapy. What is that? Generally, if you know the biological mechanism of cancer, it's easy to understand this topic. Whenever cancer cell emerges, it will be located along with the normal cells. If you consider red as a cancer cells, it will be located along the normal cells. Consider this as a liver or any organ. And slowly cancer cell will spread to the other cells and cancer slowly become progressive in nature. And the main problem in treating the cancer at present is if you give chemotherapy or if you give radiotherapy, normal cell also gets affected, side effect becomes high. If you give chemicals to treat the cancer cells, normal cell also absorbs the chemicals and also gets affected. If you give radiotherapy or radiation in this part, not only the red color showed cancer cells, but also normal cells also get affected. To avoid this, nanotechnology becoming as a choice. By using the nanotechnology and nanomaterials, we can treat the cancer without affecting the adjoining normal cells. How? Photodynamic therapy is the one way. First, understand what it is done in the photodynamic therapy. In the first step, scientists will inject photosensitizer, or simply you can say a chemical or nanomaterial they will inject into our body, and the cancer cells absorbs this chemical. Only cancer cell absorbs this chemical. Normal cells or normal body cells does not absorb this chemical. And in steps 2, you can say the chemicals concentrated in the tumor. Third step, what scientists will do is they will show the particular wavelength light. They won't use the general radiation. They will use a particular wavelength light, because every chemical will absorb some wavelength strongly. So by using the particular chemical and particular wavelength, the light activates the chemical and the chemical gets heated. Because of the heat, or when heat crosses 40 degrees Celsius, the cancer cell gets destroyed. The important point is that normal cells does not absorb the chemical, so they will not get heated because of the particular wavelength. So tumor cells are selectively destroyed. So it is going to become a popular cancer therapy in a couple of years. Now let's come back to the definition of photodynamic therapy. So you should use the proper words while defining any topic. Photodynamic therapy uses a drug or chemical, or also called as photosensitizer, and a particular type of light or wavelength that already you know. When the photosensitizers are exposed to a specific light of wavelength, oxygen-free radicals are produced in the cancer cells, and the chemical gets heated because of the particular wavelength, and the cancer cells are destroyed. Normal cells will not absorb the chemical and will not absorb this particular wavelength. So normal cells will not affected in this process of photodynamic therapy. Why that topic is in news recently? Recently, IIT Madras, that is Indian Institute of Technology Madras, created a carbon nanotube that help to kill the cancer cells without affecting the neighboring cells. Already you know, in photodynamic therapy, a chemical is used. IIT Madras researchers used a carbon nanotube material to absorb the particular wavelength, and they injected the carbon nanotube chemical into the body and used a infrared wavelength, and the carbon nanotube absorbed the infrared wavelength and got heated and destroyed the tumor cells. The carbon nanotube are not absorbed by the normal cells, and normal cells will not be affected in this process. Now let's discuss some important points regarding graphene. Graphene is nothing but an atomic layer of graphite in the form of sheet. Each and every word is important. Graphene is the atomic layer thickness of graphite in the form of sheet. It is rolled to make the carbon nanotubes. In our separate video lectures, we will cover about graphene, graphite and carbon nanotube separately. What do you mean by 1 nanometer? 1 nanometer is equal to 10 power minus 9 meter, 10 power minus 9 meter, or you can say 1 billionth meter. Billion means 10 power 9. Carbon nanotubes have the excellent thermal conductivity. It can conduct the heat excellently. So, and also have large surface area. That is the reason IIT Madras scientists used carbon nanotube as a drug and injected into the body and used infrared wavelength to heat the chemical, and the chemical is absorbed into the tumor cell, and tumor cell got destroyed because of the heat produced from the infrared wavelength. Normal cells or adjoining cells does not absorb the carbon nanotube chemical and will not get affected. Already we discussed in detail about the role of the carbon nanotubes, or simply you can say the nanotechnology in treating the cancer. Now we will discuss some extra points or left out points. Scientists used the vitamins, or you can say folic acid, along with the carbon nanotubes. In the carbon nanotube, scientists attached folic acid along with it. Folic acid is a vitamin. It comes under vitamin B complex 1, and the mechanism is that tumor cells have a lot of folic acid receptors. The receptors binds the folic acid found in the carbon nanotube, and both gets inserted into it. And folic acid is important for formation of the DNA, or you can say simply gene. So when you pass the wavelength or infrared wavelength, the DNA of the tumor gets damaged and normal cell will not get affected because of this. Thank you for watching this short video lecture on importance of nanotechnology in treating the cancer. Download the PDF and revise it properly, and all the best for your IAS 2016 exam preparation.